Do pathworking on Kether, crown chakra. I'm still churning. I don't even know if it's working.
Oh,
well, it's fine.
Just keep talking.
Yeah, and we will turn on. We will turn on the messenger group after the meditation. So for now,
The aces there?
yeah. Okay. You took yours out.
You took them out. You've got them there. Yes.
They're all here.
Okay, good. Okay.
Turn that up.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about some of these concepts for a while first. And of course, Kether, his god name is Aheye, which I believe translates similar to the I am. Like when Moses was talking to the burning bush, biblically, it was that was God said Aheye. That's the theory, but also the idea here. I think we'll just for now. The I mentioned, I think last week, that Aheye probably would be better, more translate as not that just I am, but I that am becoming, sort of this, that it's active. And that's one thing we really want to learn or be aware of with Kether, is that it is not a thing so much as more a verb, the eternal verb, the eternal thing happening, eternal happening, more than the thing. Now, I got them in my hand, so might as well do this part here. Is of course the whoa, what was that? The tarot cards in the tarot. Kether, the first chakra, is, what the heck is going on with this camera? I don't know. Oh well, we're going to hope for the best. It's the monitor is showing like a flash from somewhere else, like some other video. So look at that.
It's me.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
It's live.
There. What the heck is that?
It's
Glitching.
We'll
see if the glitch turns is there. I'm not sure if you're getting a glitch like I am. If anyone's watching,
somebody could tell you.
Somebody can tell me if it's glitching or if it looks good. Otherwise, we're just going to continue and hope that the actual recording is good. So in the meantime, we've got a couple different sets of tarot cards here to look at the aces, because the aces represent the beginning of each element. Of course, fire, air, earth, and water. Fire, water, earth, and air, or whatever order you want. There's different orders for different purposes. But let's begin and look at, I think I have two different Ace of Wands here. And of course, the traditional Rider-Waite deck here. They're all very similar. They show the hands coming out of the clouds with the element represented. Of course, fire, wands representing fire in this case. I guess there's a few subtleties here. is the leaves, that it is shown to be an active growing thing, but also there's leaves coming off. And this is like, let's look at the other one. From the, I keep forgetting, Golden Dawn deck or something? Initiatory
deck of the Tarot of the Golden Dawn.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
And when they depict the wands in this deck, they are showing, they're like a branch branching into one branch branching into three. But you also have, we don't have leaves falling, but we do have these yods, and these are, that's what those are. The Hebrew letter yod, and the as in yod he vahe, and the yods are in the tarot associated. The letter yod itself is associated with the Hermit card, and it has to do with a potency, like a spark of spirit, a spark of life. And so sometimes you see these yods. I think a number of different decks show them. Many some versions of the Tower show yods falling. Some versions of the Moon show the yods. And here too. So just the idea of an energy that is dispersing itself or spreading or falling, kind of. Of course, by falling, we mean the falling into manifestation, into our kind of level of awareness or life. And then we have, let's try cups. And that initiatory deck again. I don't know how clear that is, but it does show a hand holding the giant cup out of this cloud, a watery wetland scene to emphasize the water element. Of course, water here in the tarot being emotions, glands, emotions, fluids, body fluid, and emotion in thought and consciousness and feelings. So again, sort of a bounty of spreading the beginnings of a whole cycle of emotion. And then the Rider-Waite, again, they're sort of stylized yods falling. So we get this theme coming with these yods, although here they're maybe more shown to be water droplets, but they're actually more in the yod shapes, the shape of the letter yod. So that's the idea here, the spiritual energy coming from the ace, the beginnings of an emotion. And of course you have your Christian or Catholic, I know I mispronounced it on purpose, Catholic symbol of the Holy Eucharist and the dove of the Holy Ghost, the Holy Spirit. And really, so here it's just kind of a representation of the idea of divine, divinity, of a pure spirit, of pure feeling, of positive feeling. The swords. And there we are. Oh, that's weird. Why would it pick up? That's just so weird. Okay, well, I hope this is working out. I'm not getting flashes of meditation past or future, or whatever the heck's going on there. But here in our swords, we've got the hand again, emphasize with the crown. It's sort of a jagged crown atop, which is a reference to Kether. And I'm not really sure of just what those fawns are. And one is the palm, like from Palm Sunday, and one is, I'm not sure, it could be the olive branch. So it's like, I guess what this is emphasizing here in this design of the Ace of Swords is the dichotomy, that it's a double-edged sword, that for kind of a unity, positive, negative, it's all there.
You're correct.
Yeah.
It is. The dual possibilities for action are implied in the palm of suffering and the olive branch of peace.
There you go. And the same, well, of course, I didn't even remember, but again, we have the same kind of branches in the Rider-Waite deck, the duality. And because, of course, if anything, Kether, number one, is a unity. It's the card of Kether is before dichotomy, before positive and negative. So what we're being shown here is that it's all contained therein, or as part of this source energy. Maybe the first time I said source energy, but that's very much what Kether is about. And again, we have the yods coming down or falling from the sword idea. So again, this idea of a beginning that is dispersing its energy, and that here it is more it's in Kether we have the potential for the action of the sword, which is to kind of division, or and of course in the biblical reference is about the word or the logos, and very much that's what the Ace of Sword implies, this vibration, initiator, beginnings through vibration. Okay, we got the and well, heck, no yods coming from my Ace of Pentacles, but we do have the passageway to a lovely garden, and of course, Pentacles being Earth element, the potential for the whole sequence of 1 through 10 in the Earth element in Pentacles is held therein. In this one, we have the Rose of Rosy Cross, which we will be demonstrating. Rose Cross. But again, you have five rosebuds with the big one. So when you see 5 in the tarot and with the 4-armed cross, equal armed cross, it is a reference to the 4 elements. And because it is, you need all the other 3, fire, air, water, to manifest the 4th here, Earth. So we put those back on the altar. And I have a couple passages. I was sort of looking at this earlier. A couple things to mention. So before we get to the Sefer Yetzirah excerpt and the basic symbols, we talk about it talks about the 3 important symbols for Kether: the crown, the dot, and the swastika. Now, I guess I'm not sure how well this will show up. crown swastika, of course, but I just want to mention that it is not the what was the cult and spiritual symbolism of the swastika was sort of ruined by the Nazis in the last century there. But it's important to note here that this is swastika depicted in our Kabbalistic tarot book as the symbol goes the other way. So the idea here is that it is an equal armed cross that is rotating, and hence the bends in each of the arms because it's spinning. And so, of course, what the arms show is not the direction of the spin, but the opposite direction of the spin, because that's what happens. So important to note here then that the swastika here shown for Kether is rotating clockwise, not counterclockwise. And of course, we learn in the Wicca that clockwise is invoking and is sort of considered the positive motion, and counterclockwise is vanishing away. So I just wanted to got a little bit here. Symbols transcend language. One symbol suggests something and another, and leads to another symbol, creating a general picture of the energy in question. It is impossible to know Kether, as it is said that human cannot look upon the face of God and live. Of course, and if one's consciousness is connected to totally immersed in divine consciousness, all semblance of personality or individuality are lost. Yet we can establish some principles through symbols, beginning with the point. The point is not Kether, however. It is an idea, a focus or reference for our thoughts about Kether. So the three symbols here, the crown, the point, and the swastika. The crown, our anthropomorphic perspective leads us to get the idea that the directing force is within our heads. But the symbol says no. The crown is not in us, it is upon us, indicating that the holy guardian spirit, guiding spirit, guardian works too, is a crowning glory to which we may aspire, an energy to which mental processes of our brain are subordinate. The crown in the microcosm, in our individual selves, is our essential spirit. In the macrocosm, it symbolizes the entire manifest universe. The Kether is the crown above creation, but it is also from that point from which all creation springs. So the point is complete unto itself, without dimensions or external definitions. It represents total unity, the seed from which the universe grows. Ultimately, all is Kether, and each of the Sephroth emanating successively from Kether are crystallizations of the latent aspects of the One, the varied expressions of the One. The journey of manifestation begins and ends with Kether. It is the Kether to which we aspire, into which the manifest universe will eventually withdraw. So we begin the process of accelerating our own spiritual development or return by the invocation of our own Kether. This Kether unconsciously guides and directs us. The very act of calling attention to the light above our heads brings about subtle activity on the inner planes. It is a conscious affirmation of the personality and manifestation of its mutability, and that the source of all true life is above and immutable. All work of spiritual development, whether meditative, ritualistic, must begin with an invocation of the highest, which is something I try to do. The god name of Kether is Eheye, meaning I will be, a name to which has been likened to its sound and meaning to breath. The point attributed to number 1. While Kether is symbolized by the point and the number 1, it is not static. In the material world, it is also the first swirlings of manifestation. So here, hence the swastika symbol, representing vital swirling motion around that point. It is self-contained, but it is in motion. The swastika has 4 arms, representing the 4 latent aspects of Yod-He-Vah-He, the primordial elements. These are the energies of which, unified in Kether, are finally differentiated into the 4 base elements of Malkuth, or the earth plane, called the bride of Microprosopis. Malkuth is Kether on the lowest arc, as defined in the principle as above, so below. The swastika is a symbol for the primordial elements, because if the arms are imagined in motion, like the blades of a fan, each is indistinguishable from the other, as the elements are represented later in Malkuth on the Tree of Life. They are sharply defined. So here, what is above is below, but what is above is less defined, is less physical, is in potential. As above, so below. The densest element of the universe is equally holy as the source, which is an important point in Wicca, again, which does not find the physical world as evil or fallen. So let's kind of go with that, shall we?
Sure. Were you wanting to talk about the angel?
Yeah, well, yeah, I've got all that too. Thank you. Forgot that page.
Mm-hmm.
Kether, the crown, the 4 aces, all that is, the breath of that which is not, the source of energy from the infinite unmanifest, the first motion, God, Goddess, the creator, the one, that from which we come and to which we shall return. Symbols, the point, the swastika, color, white. In Kether is the divine white brilliance, the scintillation and coruscation of the divine glory. I'm not sure about that word, but I think I got it right. Okay. That light which lighteth the universe, that light which surpasseth the glory of the sun, and beside which the light of mortals is but darkness, and concerning which it is not fitting that we should speak more fully. And the sphere of its operation is called Rashith Ha-Gilgalam, the beginning of whirling, the premium mobile, or the first mover, which bestoweth the gift of life in all things, and filleth the whole universe. And Aheye is the name of the divine essence in Kether, and its archangel is the Prince of Countenances, Metatron. So we want to remember, if in your meditation, call to mind Metatron as a guide. He who bringeth forth others before the face of God. So you got to go through Metatron to be before the face of God. And the name of its order of angels is called Chayoth HaKadesh, the holy living creatures, which are also called the order of Seraphim. All right.
Mm-hmm. Can I just add here a little bit here? Just the holy living creatures are usually depicted as the man, the eagle, the lion, and the ox. Okay. Once again, as we talk about them. And there are no real deities. Well, the deities attributed are like creator or creatrix, gods and goddesses. So Brahma, Gaia, Kronos, the cosmic egg, or the time before the Big Bang, or the cause of the Big Bang. And as for planetary attribution, it says here that meditation on the first swirlings or empty space about to become less empty may be more helpful. So, yeah, and that Kether is androgynous, both male and female, god and goddess, although it is feminine energy because it is receptive to the Ein Sof and the unseen goddess. So
interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. What was that? The point, the space that is going to be filled.
Yes. This point. She gives an interesting exercise here, an analogy with the ultimate would be inadequate. She offers this for Kether. Imagine you are standing in the dark, some distance away from a large wall, aiming a flashlight at that wall. First, the light won't even touch the wall, but as you move closer, the tiniest bit of light will reach the wall, so little that it seems a lessening of darkness rather than an addition of light. As you move forward slowly, soon there will be a faint circle of light, and as you move even closer, that circle will become more distinct, smaller, brighter, and more concentrated. Eventually, you will see a smaller dot of even brighter light in the center of that large circle, and that would represent Kether coming out of the Ein Sof, that which is before being. And that's one of Kether's symbols, is the point within a circle. Mm-hmm. So, coming out of the nothing.
Out of the nothing. And certainly, when it talks about that this is beyond, so it was last week in Chokmah, the symbol was not a planet, but the whole zodiac.
Yeah.
And we don't really have a corresponding symbol for Kether as far as planets or zodiacs, but I think it's, you could almost assume it's we're getting into even the galaxy, even the Milky Way galaxy, which we are in, is too small a symbol for Kether, but it might be an appropriate kind of a symbol of that idea of kind of the next level up from the zodiac might be the galaxy. Mm-hmm.
Which I think is interesting when you say galaxy, because I always think of them as
it's swirling.
swirling,
Our galaxy,
and that's the premium mobile.
Premium mobile.
Premium mobile, which is the first swirlings.
First swirlings.
And that's how Kether is described, as the first swirlings, the brilliance.
And also interesting, if you kind of the context of the galaxy, is that they say science now suggests that the center of our galaxy is a tremendous black hole. But it's hard to see because it's so surrounded with suns, dense suns, so that the idea that the center is this bright spot that is actually kind of with the darkness at its core. I wanted to mention, because they mentioned Brahma, and I've heard an idea that I really appreciate is that, science talks about the Big Bang, and I've had it suggested that, well, it's not so much the Big Bang. And then I remember a couple decades ago, they had astrophysicists talking about, well, is the universe expanding? But some places it seems to be contracting. So there's this idea that it's not, the universe hasn't, the entire universe of physical reality wasn't created by a Big Bang, more the idea that the Big Bang is the out-breath of Brahma, and that there's also an in-breath of Brahma and subsequent out-breaths of Brahma. So in the Hindi mythology, they're talking about cycles of trillions of years of the whole universe expanding from the bang, contracting, expanding, contracting, which is kind of bespeaks of its eternal nature, which is, I think, something which is also an important concept here for Kether, is eternity. Eternity. So, somebody said it sounds good and looks normal, Aaron. All right.
All right. Well, that's a first. Normal?
Well.
Normal? All right, guys.
The video is kind of normal.
Are we going to turn that light on?
Yeah, that light on and the big light off after the...
Yeah. And did you want me to do something?
Sure. You want to do the girly ones again? Move that over a little bit for the cats. Yeah.
We have the Norman just partaking on the...
Yes. You have a busy day.
He's had a busy day. Yeah.
So we're going to start. Norman's with us today. Hey, Norm. Right on cue. We're going to
see the altar.
Yeah. We'll start with our Rose Cross ritual. I'm going to use the big orchid.
Put the other one away then. Reuse your lotus one.
All right.
I put a lighter up there for you.
Thanks. We dedicate our temple to the goddess and the god. I'll do a brief. Now, the aroma, which we're not big on incense because we're sensitive. But I mean, apparently, the only one the aroma for Kether was ambergris. Which I don't have. So I actually did have some.
Yes.
Once.
Yeah.
Somebody gave me a vial when I was reading tarot down on Granville Street.
Oh my!
They had gotten from Newfoundland. Somebody had scraped off the water. Oh, it was wonderful. So I'll just have to try to remember that. But I do have a little. I'll just do a little bit. And so this evening, sorry?
What fragrance are you using now?
Oh, it's the stinky East Indian chap stuff.
Oh, okay.
That's enough. There we are. This evening, we are having pathworking in Kether. So, Hecus, Estebebeloi to the northeast, and then here we go. Ready?
Yep.
Te Malkuth, Vegabora, Vegadula, Leolam. Amen. Yahashua. 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 Yahashua Yovasha. Yod He Shin Vav He. I-N-R-I. Oh. X, the sign of the morning. Oh, X, the sign of Osiris, slain. L, the sign of the morning of Isis. V, the sign of Typhoon Apophis. X, the sign of Osiris risen. L, V, X, Luke's light, light of the cross. Virgo, Isis, mighty mother, Scorpio, Apophis, destroyer, soul, Osiris, slain yet risen. Isis, Apophis, Osiris. Iexarpe okoema nanta bioteoem. May the divine light descend. May the divine light descend. Ate Malkuth Vegabora Vegadula Leolam. Amen. So be it. I call upon the energies of the quarters and the archangels. Exarpe. Oro ibai ozod pi Yehovah. Hail Raphael, Archangel of the East and Air. Baiteoem. Hey. Oyep tiea pedoke. Elohim. Hail Michael, Archangel of Fire in the south.
Yep. Hakoma Agala Empear Salgeo Al Hail Gabriel, Archangel of the West in water. Nanta Agala Imordial Hectega Adonai. Hail Uriel, Archangel of the earth and the north.
Before me, Raphael, behind me, Gabriel. To the right hand, Michael, and to my left hand, Uriel. About us flames the pentagram, and in the column shines the six-rayed star, Ate Malkuth, Begabora, Begadula, Leila. As above, so below. So be it. This evening, we are pathworking upon Kether, the first chakra, the first Sephroth, the crown, God name Aheye. Image, an ancient bearded king in profile, God name Aheye, Archangel Metatron, order of angels, the holy living creatures, the Chayoth HaKadesh, the premium mobile, the first swirlings, symbols, the point, the crown, the swastika, the four aces of the tarot. Colors, brilliance, pure white brilliance, white flecked gold. Okay, so I'm going to talk us through the middle pillar exercise and maybe have a brief word or two about to refocus on Kether. And here we go. So relax, you want to sit straight or lie down, breathing deeply with the diaphragm and chest. Relax the jaw, relax the back, shoulders back. Just try to establish a 4 square breath. Breathing in deeply for your own count of 4, pausing for your own count of 4, exhaling gradually for your own count of 4, and pausing for 4. 4 square breath. Bring your mind back to thinking about establishing and maintaining your 4 square breath if your mind wanders. This allows us to breathe deeply and not hyperventilate. Imagine the light around, a sphere of light atop the head. A sphere of scintillating light atop the head. This is Kether. Source energy. Prior, before polarity. Pure energy. Containing everything, potential for everything. Its God name is A-Hey-Yay. Bring the light energy down into the body, down from the orb of light atop the head. To create a channel of light down into the body to form a lavender orb of light in the throat area. Its God name is Yehovah Elohim. Yehovah Elohim.
Yehovah Elohim.
Yehovah Elohim.
Yehovah Elohim.
Bring the light energy down from the throat, down to form a golden yellow orb of light behind the solar plexus in the body. Yehovah Ilovada.
Yehovah Ilovada.
Light of love. Yehovah Ilovada. Imagine the light energy descending into the body deeper to form a purple orb of light in the groin area. Shaddai El Chai.
Shaddai El-Chai.
Light of life, purple orb of light. Shaddai El Chai. Imagine the light descending to the feet where it forms a russet orb of light. Adonai Haaretz.
Adonai Haaretz.
Adonai Haaretz. Bring the attention back to the Kether atop the head, the light atop the head. On the exhale, bring light energy down through the left side of the body to the feet sphere. On the in-breath, imagine light energy coming up through the right foot, right leg, right side of the body to the top of the head. Exhale light energy down through the left. Inhale light energy up through the right. On an exhale, change the direction and bring the light energy down over the front of the body. On the inhale, bring the light energy up along the back of the body to the top of the head. Exhale, light energy down, over and through the front of the body. Inhale, light energy up, along and through the back half of the body. And inhale, collect the light energy at the feet, orb. And on the exhale, release the light energy up through the body, through the top of the head. Let it be fountain down, around, and through, and be collected again on the inhale at the feet. Inhale, collect light energy at the feet. Exhale, releasing the light energy up through the top of the head. Still good to create some distance in your mind and imagine yourself approaching your space in the roots of your great tree. A safe space. Kether, you think of the symbols for Kether, the first swirlings, source energy. We may ask Metatron to be our guide and reveal to us what we may experience. Guardians of the quarters. Stereo. Gabriel. Michael. Raphael. Thank the guardians, the quarters, the archangels, and the energies and intelligences drawn, called to our ceremony and meditation. Go if you must, stay if you will. Blessed be. Blessed be. Temple be closed. Closed.
Wow.
Okay, lights.
Yeah, you have to? Yeah. Okay.
I don't have to yet.
I'll plug in that one.
All right. Settle. Keep it settled.
Settle. Keep it settled. Thanks. That was a long way away.
Thank you.
Turn on the lights too.
Okay, we will start this back up for the discussion portion in a separate
Everybody say
video. That's done.
okay.